Okay, we are live, and let's see. Um, the angle is a little bit odd. I should have a logo here. Instead, I'm advertising for Røde microphones, which is funny. Okay. Winter solstice. It's to me the beginning of the new year. Most people, they will wait until the 31st of December, New Year's Eve, and all that. But that's to me a little bit artificial. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining. Wonderful. KP Hidden is here. That's awesome. Hidden American. Yeah, so one day late, but because I think it was 10:51 a.m. yesterday. That was well, I'm here in Norway, the winter solstice. So now it's 5:43 a.m. the 22nd of December, and hi there, Linda. And the day that when the sun rises now in a couple of hours, the day will be 4 seconds longer than yesterday. So the days are getting longer, and that's such a positive thing. It's such a wonderful thing. It makes me very happy, and I have I have one of these GPS watches, Garmin, supporting the war industry there. But as Garmin is also, I believe, making systems for warfare. But yeah, I got one of those watches, and it has it will tell you, or actually show you, how long the day is, and it's like this area on the watch, and now that area has been shrinking. Now it's going to be growing again slowly. So let's talk a little bit about how this time of the year was celebrated. And I need my glasses now. It was, we are still celebrating, of course, and I will be talking as someone living in the northern hemisphere here in Norway. Linda, I am so sorry to hear that. My condolences. I'm so sorry to hear that. I don't know what to say. I will continue. Hopefully, the tale of how people used to celebrate this time of the year will maybe take your mind off the sadness for a little while, hopefully. Okay, so no, actually, it's 4 seconds. 4 minutes is much later. I checked, and it's just 4 seconds. So, but it will be you guys can check if you want to on the internet. Is the 22nd 4 seconds longer or 4 minutes longer? I seem to remember it was 4 seconds, but I hope I'm wrong. 4 minutes would be awesome. So now, if you go to Facebook or something like that, you will see a lot of people now, the pagans, like myself, they will say Happy Jule. And it is actually a common misunderstanding that Jule was celebrated, or Jul, later renamed to Christmas, that it was celebrated at winter solstice. That's not really true. Well, I don't know all cultures, of course, but Jule, or Jul, was celebrated mid-January. And so we have, well, 3 weeks. I think it's about 3 weeks later, 3 weeks after, about 3 weeks after winter solstice. And the time before, it's called Ylir in Norse, and it was more like a celebration that started around the winter solstice, or actually a little bit before, and then you had a lot of fear, because this was a dangerous time of the year. Well, all of the darkness, and that meant that you had dark elves and the creatures living underground and all of that. They could come up, and do horrible things. So also it was a time for visiting friends and family and so on. And that was actually also part of it. So, and all of that with visiting each other would lead up to the juleblot, which was then the celebration. So that's basically how it was up here in the north. And then later, of course, Christianity was introduced, and it was in this part of the world. It was forced upon the people. You would be punished if you didn't. Well, if you kept your old faith, you would be punished. So they adapted things and said that, well, we will still be able to celebrate, but now we will, you're celebrating the birth of Jesus. And it is funny. I'm not in the mood for getting into getting all the Bible thumpers here. I'm really not in the mood for that. But it's interesting to see how cultures change and adapt. How cultures and well, within cultures, I also include religions. How it's changed and adapted to, influenced by their surroundings. That goes for Christianity. It goes for Norse belief system. It goes for most belief systems and cultures. I would say maybe the exception is Islam, because it's so dominating, and it just crushes everything where it comes. It just crushes everything else. Yeah, longer days. We can look forward to longer days. Oh, hi there, Jen. Good to see you. We can look forward to longer days, and I mean, for me, going, as the English say, wild camping. It's much easier in February than now, because now the days are very short here. So as soon as we enter February, the days have become longer, and then the season starts again for hiking and overnighters in the woods. And you'll see videos from that on Bjorn Outdoors, my outdoors channel, which you should subscribe to. Yeah. So let me get to the comments here. By the way, if would anyone care to check, is the 20-second 4 seconds longer or 4 minutes longer? Let's see. I'll just sound quality is fantastic. I'm glad to hear that. I did not watch Fury versus Usyk, that boxing fight. I'm not up to date. I thought he had retired, Tyson Fury, but apparently not. You're telling me it's 4 minutes. Eric says 4 seconds. I am pretty sure it's 4 seconds, but do we have any other people who have checked that? And if not, then I'll have a look again after the live stream. But the point is that the days are getting longer, and that is just such a positive thing. Wolfo Odin says that he will continue to howl at the moon and run in the woods. Jody says it's seconds. Quebec Patriot says 4 seconds, but exponential. Yes. So after 2 weeks, it really, really helps, and you start noticing it. Yeah, how would this work? I mean, I feel like an idiot now, but it must be different in different parts of the world, or now I feel stupid, but how does that work? It must change. It must be different, right? Because at equator, you don't have seasons at all. So as you get more further south, then it can't be the same there as up here in Norway, right? Am I wrong? Can someone please help? Yeah. From Rocky Mountains. That's wonderful. Yes, it's surely says it's different depending on where you are located. Yeah. And by the way, did you see I haven't seen it myself, but they took some of these flat earthers down to Antarctica, and now they're all upset because they proved themselves to be wrong, and it's all a big mess. And now they are, of course, claiming that the whole video is fake and all of that. I mean, how did we get to this point where people regress back to thinking the Earth is flat? I mean, it's hilarious. Thank you for that donation. That's very kind of you. Thank you, and god jul to you as well. Let's talk conspiracy theories, the fun ones. My favorite, and I think I've mentioned this before, is the hollow moon theory. It's the theory where the moon is actually hollowed out, and after World War II, Hitler and oh, I said a bad word. Hopefully they won't take down this live stream. But the National Socialists, they escaped to the moon, and then they have stayed there, and they are using the moon as a spaceship, and it's hollowed out. So that's my favorite. I also like the hollow Earth theory. That's a fun one as well. Yeah, the moon is made out of cheese, of course. So, yeah, there are many of these crazy theories, and the lizard people thing. Yeah, that one I like as well. With the lizard people being like this race that they have these skin suits to look like human beings, and they rule the earth, and apparently the British royal family, they are lizard people. Yes. um, so yeah, I wonder if we get um, the flat earthers here. We have had them here before. So okay, but yes, yeah, the moon. It's not so fun when the thing about did we ever go to the moon, and things like that. I don't even count it as a conspiracy theory, because that could physically be possible, right? It could physically be possible that it was all a scam. I don't think so, but it's not possible that the Earth is flat, but it could be physically possible that the moon landing is fake and all of that. And if I was presented with evidence that said this is fake, I would think it's fake, but I haven't seen any as such evidence yet. But yeah, but anyway, so the moon is flat. Yes. Yes. Like a pancake. So, but anyway, we have a saying here. Well, a funny way to say winter solstice. I want to say winter equinox. That's of course not the same. That's when the day and the night are of equal length. But we have a funny way of saying it, and I'll just translate it directly into English, because I don't know if you say the same in English. We say that it would be the sun turns. The sun turns. So we say winter solstice. That's when the sun turns. In Norwegian, that's when the solen snur. I don't know why we are saying that, because it's everyone knows it doesn't turn. But it's do you say the same? Do you say the sun turns? I haven't heard that in English. Festivus. We will talk about Festivus as well. So yeah, the sun turns. Why do we say that? Why do we say that? But anyway, yes. If you watched Seinfeld, the TV comedy sitcom, um, you know, yeah, we say that the sun rises. Isn't that funny? It doesn't do that. It just looks like it's rising, of course. Yeah. Uh, Okay. Festivus. So George's father, he had an alternative celebration of Christmas. Is a you put up a metal pole and you tell everyone in your family how they disappointed you during the year that was. So I'm sure that was funny. That was a pleasant Christmas Eve. And I thought actually that it was something they made up for the TV series. And only yesterday, I found out that it's a real thing. Did you know that? Festivus is a real thing. So now, of course, I can't remember the name, but an author, I believe it was, he thought that Christmas was too commercialized. So he introduced an alternative celebration, which was Festivus, with a metal pole and everything. I'm sure he was the light of every party he was invited to. Maybe he wasn't invited to many parties after a while. Yeah, so it's a real thing. Um, so no, there's nobody standing behind me. No, that's my sleeping bag. Yeah. So yeah, that's funny. Let's see here. Or is it a metal pole? You mean? There is no metal pole here. No, these are some of my main sleeping bags. So yeah, we just talked about Christmas or Yule, as we say here. Um, a pagan festival. Well, of course, this time of the year has been celebrated for as long as there have been humans, probably. So let's see. Any drones in Norway? Well, I have a drone. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. So what's the drones about? What I do know is that anything that happens that get attention these days, it gets, because of how the internet works, it always seems a lot more and worse and more. It just seems like a lot, right? It seems like a lot, whatever happens. So, you know what I'm saying? So, yes, drones, but I get the impression that they are everywhere. But that's because it's all over the internet, right? Now, but yes, I'm not saying that there are none of these drones that can't be explained. So the scary theory is, of course, that they are spy drones and that they are spying for locations for a nuclear attack. So that you have, that would be Russia, I guess. That's the idea, at least, that they are flying drones around, places where they plan to land their nuclear rockets, and so on. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. It could be something very benign, I don't know. I don't know. Yes. Radioactive material got lost and they were searching for it. Yeah, so I think they call them sniffer drones, actually. That's scary as well. I hope that's not what they are. I haven't seen any or heard about any here in Norway at all. Yeah, Al-Jodi says, after seeing what drones do in Palestine, yeah. We are living in a time where things are a bit crazy. And, what's happening in well, let's just put it this way. I don't feel like getting into big politics now, but I will say that what the Israeli government is doing now is evil. And the double standards that they are met with by the international community is quite remarkable. I mean, Russia is boycotted and condemned for doing basically pretty much the same as Israel is now doing. But they keep giving money to Israel. I mean, the USA is the worst. And it's just a horrible, horrible thing. Do I think that Hamas are good people? No. And I made a live stream and I called them the devils. But there are devils in Israel as well. And that's Netanyahu and those people. They are evil. That's how I want to put it. They are evil. And I am aware that this may get me into trouble here on YouTube because Israel must be protected at any cost. That's the Google take on this, I believe, which is disgusting. Disgusting. But okay, let's leave that. This is supposed to be a happy time, Yeah, Wolf Odin, I agree Islam is the devil, but so can Christianity be, and it has been up through history. It's very, very obvious. And it seems like it's mostly the monotheistic religions that are used. And please note that I said are used, right? Yeah, Jeff, yes. You said you heard a guy a few nights ago on YouTube condemning Russia for all their acts, but couldn't see anything wrong with what Israel is doing. Yeah. But okay. So, yeah, it's true. That's true. Wolf of Odin, Christians did most of their destruction in the past. That is very true. And that needs to be taken into account here. Let's see. Here's a little idea. Maybe it's too late now, but if you want a free vacation, if you want to go to Antarctica, you should claim to be a flat earther because they will sponsor you and pay you to go to Antarctica. I want to go to Antarctica. I've never been there. It's it would be awesome to go there. And then you could say, oh, this was not what I expected, and you have gotten a free vacation to Antarctica. Yeah. Or maybe not. It must be embarrassing to appear as an idiot like that. Yeah. Was he a CIA dude? Really? Show me the evidence. That's what I'm going to say a lot more in the future. Show me the evidence. So, yes. days are getting longer, and I think that's something we need to appreciate. It really matters. Um, it's it's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. Uh, so, okay. Yeah. Oh yes, Jody. Yes, sunshine, planting stuff in your garden. Yes. And Wolf Odin, thank you so much. Thank you. That's very, very kind of you. That's very kind of you. Um, Sus says that your ex's dad went to Antarctica. Way too cold. Wouldn't recommend it. Um, yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Does Trump say that? Is that one of the things he's saying? Oh, thank you, Living L393 third ND. Well, oh, sorry. Thank you so much for your donation there. If I think Skål and Hate take a break to catch their breath before continuing to chase the sun and the moon, maybe they do. Maybe they do. I had this. I had a steak last night, Jody. It wasn't really a celebration. I just felt like having a steak. Grasslands G, welcome as a supporter and a member to the channel. Um, uh, Godlike guy there, asking about Scott shoes versus flat shoes. Scott shoes are the only shoes I have that I use that has heels. All my other shoes are flat, but yeah, I use them in the squat. A lot of people use flat shoes in the squat now, but for me, it's more like a habit. I don't want to change things around now. Do they help my squat? I don't know. People now, some use flat shoes, some use the traditional squat shoes. Yeah, well, a couple of people here saying that don't always agree, but do appreciate them. My videos, I guess. And Wolf audience says that I look good in heels. Thank you. And hi there, GB. Well, here's the thing, I think that if you try to avoid saying things that people will disagree with, you end up with no, what's the word? It's I mean, how do you do that? I mean, what can you say? You end up with no integrity. So I made a video on the main channel last night, uploaded it last night. You can go check that out. And people are unsubscribing and disliking, and of course I knew that, and that's fine. That's perfectly fine. And it's like I I'm making the videos. It's not someone else making the videos. So why would I try to be someone else. I'll share my opinion. So, Dead Wolf Resistance says, try to believe in flat Earth, but I just couldn't get my mind around it. Yeah. Well, thank you, Jody. Black Pigeon Pill is asking, do you consider contemporary, so that's today, forms of paganism necessarily ethno-exclusive? The answer would be no, for two reasons. You get into all sorts of problems if you're going to exclude everyone except a certain ethnicity. How do you test that? I mean, how, if you get my meaning, pure does your ethnicity need to be? It's very difficult these days to find someone who is, for instance, pure Saxon, pure Norse. It's almost impossible. You would have to go to the rainforest in the Amazonas and find a tribe that has had no contact with the world outside to find something like that. And also, I don't agree. It's not historically correct to say that no, this is just for the blonde people. And also, it's a little bit too close to the ideology of some guy who's dead now, who had an ugly mustache. So yes. Brett Cooper is looking for new work. Maybe you need a co-host. I don't know who Brett Cooper is, and I don't need a co-host. Let's see here. Yeah, you must have a beard, Wolf of Odin, to be included. Hopefully that doesn't go for the women. Ha ha ha. Funny. Okay. Silver Possum says, I was a sailor, never fell off the edge of the world. Yeah. And it's like, it's funny. When I was in Australia, now was it Australia? Well, but anyway, I've been on the other side of the globe and I've called home during daytime and it's dark back home. Nighttime, daytime, where I was. So, so Huckle Picking Bear says, why can't blondes and reds have a thing? I guess you can. Nobody's stopping you. I would not be included there, but that's fine. Yeah. Okay. Hold on. I'm sort of getting to what you're talking about. Brett Cooper is. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Ben Shapiro's female clone. Ooh. Doesn't sound good. I don't want to see that. Yeah. I don't like Ben Shapiro. I think a lot more people are woken up to after the what Israel is doing, and as far as I know, Ben Shapiro is supporting that. A lot of people are they've woken up to the fact that it's come on, come on, it's y- uh, well, it's evil, um yeah, and I know his main argument is I'm a conservative Jew, and I want to say I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you get better. But anyway, oh, Jeff, lucky you. Sorry that you had to Google that. Um, let's see. Yes, these people, um, these people, the black and white sweater is behind me. You can see it there actually, um, by the wall. Okay, Santa Claus. Interesting character. A fat, judgmental guy who breaks into your house and gives you gifts, or the kids give the nice kids, the kind kids get gifts, and the naughty kids get a lump of coal. Um, Living L393ND, thank you so much for the donation. My favorite story from the Poetic Edda. I honestly don't know. So many beautiful stories there. I'll think about it. I'll make a note, mental note. Now I forgot what I was talking about. Let's see. Yeah, Santa Claus. Santa Claus. Lots of comments about Santa Claus. So, yeah, I think Santa Claus today is such an interesting character because he's a blend of three different characters. So obviously, the idea that someone's coming to your house, handing out gifts, well, that's Odin. We know that. That's Odin. Um, and that's a pre-Christian thing, right? So there was this idea that Odin would visit the humans, us. He often did, disguised sometimes as a beggar, old man, and so on, with a wide hat. That's where Tolkien got his Gandalf from, by the way. And if you treat him well, then Odin will know that you're a good person. And if you treat him like, oh, this is an old beggar, we don't want any beggars here, then he will know that you're not a good person, and so on. And so that's Odin. And of course, Sleipnir can ride through the skies and so on. Very close to Santa's reindeers. And then you have the Christian thing, Saint Nicholas, right? Which wasn't he a guy who gave gifts to kids, something like that? And these two things, these two images or myths or legends, well, Saint Nicholas was a real person. But so you could say about Odin originally. Many people believe that he was a chieftain or king back in the very, very old days. So, Alien, yes, Santa exists. Yes, yes. and and these two blended together into what we have now as the Santa of modern times. But there's a third character, which is the Coca-Cola Santa Claus. And so this fat guy with a white beard red coat and all that. That's actually a Swedish guy, an artist, Swedish artist who was hired by Coca-Cola to draw Santa Claus, and he made a self-portrait. Actually, so that's Santa Claus, um, and that's how most people today view Santa Claus. And if you go to actually the shops are open on Sundays now because it's Christmas time, and um, and you will probably see some mall Santa there, and he has this red coat on, and it's a Coca-Cola Santa Claus. So, oh, Haddon Sundblom was it? Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Yeah, Swedish guy. Do you know if he was Swedish or a Swede living in the USA? Um, and I think that we should be okay with how these things change, because let's face it, religion, myth, lore, legend, it's always changing. It's continually changing. And one good example, I think, is Christianity. It is changing now as we can observe it as it's changing. It's being influenced by society. Christianity now is very different from Christianity just 20 years ago, um, and so on. And we may like that, we may not like that. I must admit that I'm as guilty as anyone when it comes to not liking those changes, because I don't like how the Marvel movies and Marvel comics have changed how people view uh, the Norse belief system. I don't like that. And I hate seeing that silly sledgehammer. Doesn't look like Mjolnir, does it? At all. I try not to get worked up about it, you know. um, yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, Robin Hood, very funny that you would mention that, Jody. And I find it so interesting. This is a sidetrack, but they say, the socialists say, oh, he was stealing from the rich and giving to the poor. No, he was not. He was stealing from the state, tax money, giving it back to people. But anyway, sorry. Oh, IKEA. I can't. I could just call it IKEA hell. Oh, yeah. That's. I don't like IKEA. Do some ASMR. Is that when people eat and they right by the microphone? Nobody wants to hear that. Yeah, IKEA is affordable, but it's just that, oh, you have to go there and it takes so many people, and you're walking there, and by the way, you know what, IKEA, they made. I never liked IKEA, but I like them even less now, because IKEA is the best example I can give you on these commercials where you can't have a family where all of the people in the family have the same ethnicity. So you can't have a typically Northern European family. You can't have that, or white, as some would say. You can't have that. No, no. Must be mixed race all of the time. And it's like, I don't care I mean, I don't um, if someone is married to someone of a different ethnicity, lots of different words here. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care about people's ethnicity. I mean, it's your character and so on that matters. But the thing is that they have to, in every commercial and in these brochures that they send out. No, I think they've stopped sending them out now because of the environment. But on the internet and commercials on TV, it's always, and it's been like this for years, must be a mixed raced family every time. And it becomes like, okay, you see that they have some kind of political agenda there because it's so in your face every time. And it's like, come on, we see what you're doing here. We see what you're doing. and and when you start out by, like most people, they don't care about that, at least not here in Norway. I mean, it's like, I have to think really hard. If you ask me, do you know any couples that are mixed race, I have to think really hard because I don't think about that. Now I'm thinking about it, and I do know some couples that are mixed race. And I think that's how it should be. It shouldn't be an issue. It shouldn't be, you know, important. Um, but yeah, it's important to IKEA. It's important to IKEA, and they keep showing this into people's faces all of the time. And then people, that's actually the way, what I'm trying to say. That's what they're doing, is actually they are creating racism that way, actually. No, it was not. Well, in IKEA, it's been like that for years, but I think their commercials are made for the international market. But it wasn't common in Norway until recently, for the simple reason that, you know, I don't think it was an issue here, you know. Oh, Paul is asking, how do you see Christianity changing? Honest question, as I have been one my entire life. I hate IKEA. Went in the store once and couldn't wait to get out. I agree. Yeah. Christianity seems to be changing in the way that it is incorporating more social issues like, now, I'm not saying this is good or bad or anything like that, and it's just an observation. Just an observation. And I'm talking about this as a Norwegian. I know it's different in the USA. Well, I guess it's different in the USA. For instance, Christianity has changed in the way that they no longer view what was like um, gay people as being sinners, right? But when you read the Bible, it's very easy to see that the text in itself, Christian text, actually do view that as a sin. Now, if I'm mistaken here, you can call me out on that. I am not a Christian myself, but it's like Christianity seems to be changing. And we can't, and maybe it's a good thing. Maybe it's a good thing. I'm not the one to decide here. It doesn't really affect me as a non-Christian, but we can't point to the Bible and say that, well, we need to follow the Bible, because there's a lot of nasty stuff there, nasty, immoral stuff there, right? It really is. It really is. And, so we are adapting it. Well, not me, but Christians have been adapting it so that it can fit the current society and the ethical standards in our society. You know what I'm saying here? So probably different in other countries, some other countries. So yeah, Christianity, not they're predominantly Protestant. Yeah, I understand that, and I've had a lot of people writing that Catholics are not Christians. Well, the Pope would disagree. Yeah, Jasonacus Aurelius, Christian that is moving more and more to paganism. I do not know why. Well, welcome. I think that's a journey that you should embrace. I'm not saying that because I really want you over to our side or anything like that. I'm just saying that that's a spiritual and intellectual, interesting journey that you have ahead of you. Yeah. Let's see. So let's see here. Yeah. Well, we're going to attempt to join the Christianity thing. So yeah, but it's tempting to keep talking about it. But again, we are looking forward to longer days now. We are looking forward to being, well, everyone, I guess. At least, well, in the northern hemisphere, it's obviously the opposite on the other side of the globe, right? Now it's early. Now I got a little bit. Well, it must be the opposite, right? Yeah, it is the opposite, of course, because now they have continuous night darkness up in the north, and they have continuous day in Antarctica. So yes, yeah, yes. Kim is going on a cruise March 2025 to Bahamas. Well, enjoy that. I think that will be wonderful. Yeah. Yes. Southern Hemisphere. Looking forward to winter. Yes, are they looking forward to that? Maybe if it's really warm during summer. Yeah. Okay. I don't know what you're trying to say there, Eric Beagle. Um, I don't know what you're saying. Eyes of Raven says, Happy Solstice, may the coming of the light bring a bright and prosperous new year to all. Yes. And now we are, of course, just heading into the time of Christmas or Yule, and then it's a new year celebration, and it's lots of partying, party carefully, and all that. Of course, it's a nice time. It's a nice time, but some people struggle because they are alone, they are lonely. So this could be a good time to call someone who you think might be lonely at this time of the year, and just say hello, and how are you doing, and so on. Yeah. Okay. So, any more questions before I close this live stream? Mm. Uh, no, I've seen some of the Lord of the Rings movies, not all of them. Um, how many hours of daylight in Norway today? It's, I believe, less than 6. Uh, any advice to an American looking to move to Norway? I don't know. Maybe the Norwegian embassy could help you with that, maybe. How cold is it in Norway now? Well, actually, it depends on where you are. I'm in the south, and the weather is crazy. I think it's like 6 plus Celsius here today, which is very warm. But if you go up north, of course, or inland, by the coast, um, but Norway, if you flip Norway around, the north part of Norway would reach Rome in Italy. So if you go up north, it's much colder, of course. So, yeah. Yeah. Okay. So moving to Norway and all that. Norway is a difficult country to live in now. I hate to finish this live stream with a negative topic, but don't move your business here. Don't move your business here. I'm seriously considering to get out. There are tax issues here that for the time being, prevent me from moving my business out of Norway. But if a window opens with a new government, I might have to do that. The taxes are crazy, getting crazier. They connected Norway to the EU and to the UK with cables, sending our electric power out of the country. raising the price of electricity here into insane levels, but the taxes here will prevent you from being able to build up wealth. It's just not possible. Well, it's possible, but it's very, very difficult. So if there's going to be a window, because we have exit tax where they tax you 38% of everything you own, basically, if you move out to Norway. Yeah, you heard me right there. And if the new government that we probably will get next year, if they delete the exit tax, a lot of people will be moving out. A lot of people, because that will be our window to get out. That's the sad truth. Yeah. So, but we'll try to stay positive. We will try to focus on what's positive, and the days becoming longer is absolutely very, very positive. I will ask you guys one thing, as we are finishing this live stream. If you go to my main channel, it's called Bjorn Andreas Bull-Hansen, my name. You will find a link in the video description. And you go there, you click on that, and you go to videos. You will find the video I uploaded yesterday. Just give it a click, and if you like it, you might go down and find the share button. Don't download and copy the video, of course, but you might want to use the share button and share it to some social media. That would be wonderful. It would help the video a lot. So yes. Okay. Have a wonderful evening or day, and we will talk soon. Okay, bye.